good news, everyone. We have some proper information as to the production of the upcoming Harry Potter series that is expected to drop in 2026. We don't have much more than that outside of just a rough time frame from when this is going, but in the next little while, we're going to start to hear more substantive information, and this is huge, man, okay? Because when Warner Brothers was on top of the world, they had Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy running through the theaters, and then they also had, those Harry Potter films that were coming out, cranking out $1 billion a pop. Like prior to the MCU, the most financially lucrative franchise at the cinema, full stop. It's crazy how much money those films made. And as Gary from Nerdrotic put it, Star Wars for millennials. And yeah, as somebody who is a millennial who was around during the time when those books were everywhere. Like, I was very late on the Harry Potter train. Like, I didn't see the first one the first one that I seen in theaters was Half-Blood Prince. Went to the midnight screening of that one because I had caught up fully at that point in time, but I was very much disconnected because it was super popular, and I've got that general aversion when something hits, it gets too big and too popular. I don't want to see it for a while. Even if it's good, don't care. Same thing happened with like Attack on Titan and Game of Thrones. I waited a significant amount of time before I checked in on any of that stuff. And just like, with most of Game of Thrones and all of Attack on Titan, except for final chapters, finally came out on Blu-ray. Finally got my copy, so after 2 years of waiting, I might actually, be able to finish Attack on Titan, even though I know how it ends, because the manga's been done for a minute. But yeah, I like that. I like some of Game of Thrones. And Harry Potter, once I caught up on, it's like, yeah, I understand why it's so popular with people. My personal favorite being probably Order. At least my favorite movie. Favorite movie's Order. Not a big fan of the first two, so especially, hey man, if Max gets off to a good start and does a good job adapting and expounding upon the source material of Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, that could be fantastic. I'm still up in the air when it comes to if I like or don't like Prisoner of Azkaban. But if we get to that point, things are really going to be cooking by then. And there's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of reason to hope and expect that this is going to be, competently made. Okay, this is Max we're talking, the kings of making premiere television, all the way back in the cut with The Sopranos, okay, with Game of Thrones, with House of the Dragon, even with The Last of Us. They know how to make TV shows. They know how to make them look good. And the fact that they're going to be using the old sets and studios that they did from the movies, it's like, yeah, I was already interested, okay? I was already going to watch it, or at least pay close attention to it, but it's like, you don't have to sell me any further on it. I do love to see that stuff. So yeah, I'm very much primed to like this, like a bunch of people that are out there. So yeah, I'm waiting to see who's going to be cast in those roles, because there are going to be enormous shadows. Because honestly, one of the big reasons why I liked a lot of those films is because it was a veritable who's who of UK talent, okay? Michael Gambon as Dumbledore was perfect once he took over for the old dude from the first two. I remember his name. My mistake. He's probably some huge name from back in the day, and I'm pretty sure he is. It's just no disrespect. It's just, second Dumbledore was tremendous. Perfect casting. Maggie Smith as McGonagall. Even some of the later characters brought in. Mad-Eye Moody, David Tennant for a spot role. Like, they had everybody that was in there. But a big reason why I waffle on Prisoner of Azkaban, because honestly, that's the one that's a little bit too flumpy, because it has time travel for whatever stupid reason. They bungle all of that stuff. That's the reason why I waffle on that, is because you had Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. Like, bro, you have everybody's there except for Michael Caine. Like, outside of that, you had every UK actor at your disposal, and they were all perfect. And how could I forget Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid? Like, it was perfect. It's iconic casting, and if you were ever to revisit this setting, you would have a tough time doing better. Even with the kid actors, okay? Emma Watson was great, Daniel Radcliffe is iconic, and Rupert Grint, I don't want to sell him short, he's just, incredibly reliable, incredibly good. It was perfect casting back in the day, so running it back in 2024 and into the future, you knew this was coming, man, okay? You knew it was coming when we start to get rumors of this stuff coming, and we got the actor for Dean Thomas being announced. It's like, oh, no, it actually fits. Oh no, that's not Dean Thomas. Oh shit, that's gonna be Severus Snape. Oh my god, bro, you had it all and you blew it. You had it all and you blew it. Paapa Essiedu has been offered to play Severus Snape in the Harry Potter TV series. Why? Why are we doing this? Why? What is this fixation on race swapping? Especially when there is a clear description from the books. The way that this TV series was being sold was supposed to be more faithful to the source material. As Snape is described, sallow skin, hooked nose, and a curtain of long, greasy, black hair. Well, I guess they really dug their heels on one description in that analysis. What are you doing? And is this one of those situations where, with people who were paying close attention to the casting decisions for House of the Dragon noticed, Steve Toussaint, he's gonna be the Sea Snake. He's gonna be Corlys Valerian. We got some problems because Valerians are descendants of Valaria. They have Dragon Rider blood, and less old world blood and more basketball related blood. But in that context and the way that it was presented in the show, it played very much into the story, and it was actually an improvement on the source material. How does this play in at all whatsoever? Unless, of course, they're just going to go pants on head retarded with this adaptation, okay? Because one of the big flashbacks from one of the first films, actually the first film that I seen in the theaters, The Half-Blood Prince, which I hear from book fans, is arguably the one that is the most butchered from the source material. A lot of the stuff was left out. Yeah, one of the important scenes is Harry's father stringing Severus Snape up with rope into a tree. Are they really going to dig into the racial aspects of this stuff? Are they really going to do like what they did with the stage play, with the cursed child nonsense, and do the race-swapped Hermione? Do it. Just, if you're going to be this stupid when it comes to these adaptations, okay? If you're going to have Black Snape because this guy, he's just the best for the role, okay? Don't give me any of that shit moving forward. Whenever you make these decisions, they're always stupid, sans one exception that I can point to. And guess what? The exception doesn't disprove the rule, man. I am so pressed by this decision, bro. Honestly, because I look forward to a couple of things in entertainment every year, okay? And in 2024, 2 out of the 3 things missed so goddamn hard, okay? To be fair, one of them isn't out yet, but honestly, there's 8 minutes of footage that I go over with, I think on Sunday. War of the Rohirrim, man, like, I wanted another good Lord of the Rings thing, instead of just being subject to the absolute hilarity that Rings of Power is. Like, I wanted War of the Rohirrim to be good. I just wanted it to be good, man. I can't take this shit no more. But no, and Joker 2, I wanted that to be good. But no, those are going to be disasters. And then the only thing that followed through this year, but, kind of ended up carrying all of that stuff, was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It was actually, better than I expected. But I really wanted this Harry Potter TV series to work out exceptionally good, because I wanted to see what, all of the book people are saying. All you movie fans, you're missing out. The books are so much better. Yeah, cool. You're going to have one season dedicated to one book, and you have the opportunity. You have, 10, 12, 15 hours to tell the story of the books every year, getting every single story beat that's in there with HBO money, okay, for one of the big IPs that they're definitely honing in on, because there was that rumor that, moving forward, Warner Brothers is honing in on A Song of Ice and Fire stuff, DC, Mortal Kombat, and Harry Potter, 2 of which they're going to have to do a significant amount of rehab with. Likely more on Mortal Kombat next week, bro. Again, this breaks my heart, because I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat 2, and to see what happened with 1, it's like, what are we doing out here? And then to actually have this, if it does come to pass, listen, man, if you do this, just go completely stupid, okay? Do it. Do race-changed Hermione, too. Just lean into all of the racism stuff. Have all of the Slytherin call her Mudblood the entire time. Make that central to the story. Do it. Just go for it. Have your Black Snape getting strung up in a tree. Just lean into all of this and new age racist shit. Just go for it. Have Dumbledore being flamboyantly gay, where instead of addressing people from his podium, he just lifts up his robes and sits and spins on the headmaster's pulpit. Just do it. Just go as virtue signaling as it gets, because I am tired of seeing people doth at the altar of JK Rowling. She's a hack. Her adverb-laden writing is so derivative and pathetic. It's amazing she managed to craft such a fantastic world. She's that example of knocking over a shelf full of paint and then it accidentally creates a Sistine Chapel. She's that one example of somebody doing that. Somebody of minimal talent. Read anything that's not Harry Potter related and you can see, oh boy, there's a reason that she had to publish under a pseudonym, because holy. Not like George R.R. Martin, who could actually actually write competent sci-fi, and then when he started to do A Song in Ice and Fire, that shit actually hit because he ended up filling a niche there instead of the oversaturated, basic bitch sci-fi market. But if this exposes just how much of a leftist lunatic Rowling is, fantastic, because she's intrinsic to all of this stuff. She very much has her hands, to the distress of all of the leftists who hate her for the one issue that people say that she's super based on. Because she hates men so much, she has now an opportunity to dunk on trannies. Like, what are we doing out here? Everybody else does it better. It's just Rowling has a name. So yeah, I hope this isn't true. I really don't, because I really like the movies and I can separate art from artist. But when you're doing stuff that is antithetical to the source material that you're claiming that you're going to faithfully adapt, that's just stupid, man. Let's see what we got. HBO is circling British actor Paapa Essiedu to play one of the hottest TV roles being cast this year. The I May Destroy You actor is up for the role of Professor Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter series, multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. Sources say the actor has been offered the part, although it is not clear if negotiations have begun in earnest. Snape is wickedly smart and casually cruel. Yes, Hogwarts, a potions master. Well, actually, he takes on, he's potions master, and then he's defense against the dark. We're probably not going to be able to call it dark arts anymore, right? Because that would be... Anyways, in the show's... in the story's primary antagonist in the show's first season. But yeah, there's another reason why I think that they could have the black guy as the misunderstood villain, is because of the redemption arc in Deathly Hallows, which you're doing that all for this. And it's like, oh my God. Like, as I was rattling off earlier in the video, like just the tremendous casting that's out there. Could you imagine? Like, I don't know. I've never heard of this guy before in my life, but I would have a tough time believing that he's going to be a better Snape than Alan Rickman is. Like, bro, nobody's going to be a better Sirius Black than Gary Oldman. Nobody's going to be a better Severus Snape than Alan Rickman. Like, that is what it is. And it's also going to be tough to beat Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort, because it wasn't that long ago where I actually rewatched on YouTube, okay, the resurrection scene at the end of Goblet, and Ralph he's so creepy. It's like, how do you live up to the expectations of building up the primary antagonist of the entire series, okay? A man so terrifying in the grander context of the world, the wizarding world, is he who shall not be named. Like, it was an insurmountable task, and Rafe does it perfectly. He's perfectly intimidating, intensely creepy, and utterly detestable. It's, again, like, it's one of those series that had perfect casting, which is why this is just such a spit in the face. And no, this is no racism crap or anything like that, because you could imagine when they start to announce, who's going to be playing the Dursleys? Oh yeah, they're going to be white as the driven snow. When you've got the defense against the dark arts teacher from Chamber, the bumbling, I forget that dude's name, but he's exposed as being a fraud. Do you think he's going to get race changed? Yeah, I don't think so. No, it only goes in one direction, and it's only for certain payoffs. And I'm just also going to wonder how white, because you decided to open the door on this, okay? The speculation and the analysis is going to start to run rampant. How many black kids are going to be in Slytherin? I'm just wondering, man. Jason Isaac as Lucius Malfoy. Like, what? God damn it, man. The series was perfectly cast. Anyways, so far no actors have been officially cast in the Harry Potter series, which is aiming for a 2026 debut. Although Bridge of Spies actor Mark Rylance is close to being signed for the critical role as the wise and powerful headmaster Albus Dumbledore. Yeah, I think I might have heard about this one, and yeah, you take a look at that stuff, and well, that looks like good casting. It really does, and it's very interesting, right? It's very interesting how they would go ahead and for the guy who's going to have the arc of being incredibly misunderstood throughout the entire series, you just decide to do a little bit of virtue signaling. But as as pointed out, Cillian Murphy as Voldemort, that would be amazing. But I also heard that Rafe is more than willing to come back, and it's like, yeah, you'd be hard pressed. But unfortunately, Alan Rickman, Michael Gambon, Maggie Smith, they can't exactly reprise their roles unless, of course, you're gonna do all of that creepy AI shit. Which, no, okay. But if you wanted to do something faithful, if you wanted to simply adhere and adapt the source material, sallow skin, hooked nose, long, greasy, black hair, you would make the obvious choice. But you didn't, and when you make these announcements of who's going to be the cast, bro, it's going to be a make or break moment, and if these rumors are true, yeah, this shit is broken before it begins. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and god damn, I'm just so disappointed. Take care, everyone.